Hi, I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and I did promise you that I was taking you guys on a big day out today. Unfortunately, I have hurt my shoulder too bad to be driving a long distance, so instead we are going to drive just a very short distance and go on a little nature walk, have a look at the signs of spring that we can see coming. We're going to wander through a golf course. I thought I'd take you along with me for that, and then maybe we'll do a rest of a sort of day in my life on my day off as both a writer and a virtual assistant, while I've got a house full of teenagers and children during half term. My tree's starting to blossom already. That is a mixed plum tree because it is a Victoria plum that was grafted onto a wild cherry plum, and both of them fruit on the same tree now. I am supposed to be finishing the story that I'm writing for my patrons this month, so of course we are getting ready to go for a walk instead. We parked up near Aspley Guy's golf course and went along this very muddy, puddly lane. This is used by cars and people, so you do have to be a little bit careful along there, but it is lined with all of these gorgeous trees. A lot of them are in blossom already. It did my heart good to see the signs of spring as we went through, especially when the sun came out and it was just starting to look really green and lush. It was so nice. We kept on walking through this path, which is a public right of way. It is also, as I said, a road, but very little traffic actually comes down it. And you have to be a little bit careful of golfers because it was a lovely day, and so there were lots of golfers about. And we did have to stop and check that we weren't going to get hit quite often. But it was a lovely little stroll along there, and seeing all the trees in blossom really did lift my spirit. Just like seeing all of these little daffodils that were out along the way. I thought it was going to be too early for daffodils, but we actually saw lots of them. I love the smell of them. We saw a lot of snowdrops as well. The lane itself was quite muddy, but it wasn't so muddy and sticky that you couldn't walk along it, which was nice. It wasn't sort of slippy and tripping you up and heavy on your shoes. It was just muddy enough that it was going to mess up my car when we got back in. But you can't have everything. As we wandered along, we were making sure that we were checking both ways so that we didn't get hit by golf balls, but we're actually really lucky we didn't have to stop at any point, and we did get to stop and look at some of the snowdrops because there weren't many golfers around. Snowdrops are my absolute favourite flower. They remind me of hope because they're usually the first flower to come out after the long winter, and they tend to come out around my birthday, which is always nice, so it feels like they've come out just for me. Absolutely love them. They're so delicate and pretty. Near these little clump of snowdrops, we found this set of steps which leads down into a little, well, it would look like a bog area, to be honest with you. I don't think it's part of the golf course anymore, this little area. It's like a little wooded bit, and there's some like bat boxes and bird boxes on the trees here, but there isn't very much else there. But if you fight your way through the mud in this lower ground part, and it was very, very muddy, as you can see there, we get to this little park, which my youngest was very happy to have found. I had a little go on the balance beam myself. I thought that it used to turn. I distinctly remember falling off of this several times in the past, but this time it didn't seem to turn, and I walked across it just fine and felt a bit silly having my arms out like I needed to balance. This park has this cute little willow maze. I think it needs just a tiny bit of maintenance. All that needs tying in, really. But it's so cute. It's got a little archway door. And a little spiral. That goes into the centre of it. And there's a little bench. Eventually, if you were to tie all those together, then it would become an almost watertight little shower, but it seems like people have lost interest after the first couple of years. Almost a stream. It's flowing anyway. More of a trickle, really. When the little one had had enough of the park, we headed back up these steps again and back along the lane until we came out of the golf course completely and into the village of Aspley Guys. It's such a cute and quintessentially English village, but I tell you what, this little graveyard next to the road always worries me when we've had the really heavy rains. I worry that you're going to end up with bones washed out there. I'm sure it can't. I'm sure there's a retaining wall or something in there. It's across the road from the church, as you can see here. I think I might have actually shown you this church before, St. Botolph's. There is absolutely beautiful, but I didn't have time to go inside today. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous church, and it's really quite old. I think it comes from like the Middle Ages. We crossed the road then and went alongside the graveyard. I didn't want to film too much in the graveyard, but I love the way these old trees sort of hold up the ground around here. It felt disrespectful to film too much of the newer graves, so I stopped filming then until we came out into this heathland area, which was really, really nice. And then as we were walking back down the lane, I spotted all of these crocuses as well, which I thought it was a bit early for crocuses too, but apparently not. Once we got home, I realised that the parcel that I had ordered for myself for my birthday had arrived 2 days early, so I was super excited about that. I got this gel nail polish stuff. I'm not very good at girly things like painting my nails, but I really have wanted to give it a go for a while, and I got told that these were the easiest way, so I bought some of these to give it a go later. And then just a little treat myself, and because you lot all keep calling me old, I got myself some nice skin masks. I don't care that you call me old, honestly, but there were loads of them in here. And also I really kind of like the tin. I knew that it came in a tin, but I didn't know it was going to be a cute tin. Well, look how many I got in there. I'm really looking forward to trying some of those out. After that, I really could not put off doing work for any longer, so I had to get to it quickly. I didn't actually manage to finish my story. I'm struggling with a little plot point on it, but I think it will come together in the end. Then later that evening, we decided to get together for a family card game. It is something that my 9-year-old really, really likes to do, and we think it's a great way to get him off screens and get the family doing stuff together. You can see him trying to cheat here, but I did catch him, so it was fine. And after little one went to bed, I decided to give a go at those gel polish things, and so I did all of the prepping of my nails and all of that sort of stuff in front of the telly. I'm currently watching Mr. Robot. I'm nearly finished it now. I still have absolutely no idea what's going on, but that might partly be because I was doing a little bit of multitasking during the watching. My nails actually came out surprisingly well considering how clumsy I am. I followed all the instructions very, very closely, and they actually came out in a way that I was really quite pleased with, which is unusual for me when I'm doing my nails. And they've only got one tiny little chip on, and this was about a week ago that I did this nail, so I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. Please excuse my exhausted face when I show you my nails, because I was really, really tired after all that fresh air and walking. It did kind of hurt my shoulder doing that much walking again, but it was probably very good for me to get out and about. So shortly after this, I took myself to bed. And that's the good thing about gel nails, is that you can just go straight to bed when you're done and not smudge them. I hope that you enjoyed spending the day with me. I certainly enjoyed spending the day with you. I will be back next week, Monday, 6 a.m. UK time, just like I always am. I'm not quite sure what I'm vlogging about yet, but you're used to that with me by now, right? I will be here every single morning in the meantime on your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for, sometimes letting you know what's challenging me that day. And I will be here for a Witchy Wednesday card reading as well. So until next week, you have yourself a magical week.